Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Every moment is sacred, where we interweave meditation and healing into everyday life. I am your host, Rain Elizabeth Stickney. Now, let us begin. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to be with you. We have a meditation journey to explore and share today. Carey Tambio is visiting us. She is a wonderful person, mother, wife, wellness advocate, educator, surfer. She lives in Hawaii, and the warm glow of a calm, happy sun shines through in her voice. This is a very peaceful and present conversation about meditation and a healing journey that addresses the experience of overwhelm. Carey is also a podcast host, and her show just launched this month in January of 2023. Carey's show is called Coffee, Surf, Yoga, Wine. Check it out. It is wonderful. And she does such a good job at nourishing a lifestyle that cultivates greater joy and well-being, filled with balance and ease and consciousness. I hope you enjoy our meditation journey. It is lovely and a beautiful experience. If you would like to step into or join or visit or experience a still water meditation group with me, I do teach online, and I gather people together to meditate and have healing meditation journeys like this one that you will bear witness to with Carey. And if you feel like meditating, you will also experience in this episode. Stillwater meditation meets on Mondays and Thursdays. You can find all of the information online. Go to rainelizabeth.org/stillwater-meditation. The web address is in the show notes, and you can also simply go to rainelizabeth.org and click on the Stillwater Meditation tab. It's very easy to find. And when you register to come to a group, use the coupon code FIRST, FIRST, and you will get in for free. And that way you can just try out a meditation with me, co-create what you would like to have in your meditation in the group that day, and see how it is, see what happens. I would love to have you there. I would also like to highlight my sound editor, Ferrara. She does a wonderful job on all of these episodes, and I could not do what I do without her. She is a blessing in my life. So look on the show notes for Ferrara's email address and reach out to her for any sound editing needs. She is a joy to work with and so thorough and thoughtful in her approach. Here we go on an exploration of meditation and addressing the very sacred topic of overwhelm. Hey, Carey.
Hi, Rain.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad we get to talk about meditation and have a meditation journey together. And I'm wondering, to begin with, what are you grateful for in this moment?
Right now, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to have this experience with you. Meditation is something that I've been interested in for the last several years. And I'm far from an expert, but I have been practicing a bit. And so I'm just really grateful right now to have this moment to maybe find a little calm and a little peace in my day. So thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm happy to explore calm and peace with you. Those are beautiful themes. And what is your favorite way to meditate? What is your meditation journey or experience like so far in your life?
Well, I like to try to meditate in the morning, and I like to meditate for about 12 minutes. I've read research that meditating for 12 minutes allows us to get the benefits of meditation, although of course we can do it for longer, but many times I'm busy, I have a schedule, I have a lot of things I have to do in my day, so just squeezing in those 12 minutes is maybe something that's doable for me. And I've tried different formats of meditation. I've done guided meditations, I've tried mantras, I have the yogic prayer beads, I have those, I've tried them. And most recently though, or something that I've been interested in is, I don't know if you've heard of the 12 phase meditation.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, so it's with Vishen Lakhiani. I don't know if you know him,
Right.
but he
I do.
is the
He is
founder.
dynamic.
Yes, he's the founder of Mind Valley. And he has a meditation practice called the 12 phase meditation.
Yes.
That I've kind of used it, I guess, as a guide for myself as I'm meditating. I like going through those phases that are included. So I have actually used his meditation as a guided meditation, but usually for me, I'd like to just do it myself. So I kind of, once I learned the phases, I just try to follow them kind of in my own way, I guess, through a meditation practice.
That does ring a bell now that you connect the practice with the person. And I know just a teeny, teeny, tiny bit about that practice, but from what I hear, it's a very good one. And just so I'm thinking along the same lines you're thinking, is this the practice where a person is having a certain experience at phase 1 and a slightly different experience at phase 2, and it goes on, and one of the phases is really feeling the spirit of life moving them through, where the topic of desire changes for the individual, where it becomes more of what life wants of me, I will flow with that spirit of life?
I think that the concept behind this meditation, and I have to apologize because I called it a 12 phase, but it's actually a 6 phase. Sorry, it's only half of what I said.
Okay.
so it's a 6 phase, the 6 phase meditation. There's not 12 phases. That would just be way too many. It's 6 phases. And I think that the thought behind his meditation is, the idea that our minds, a lot of times in meditation, people think that they have to stop their thoughts, right? But the thing is, that's actually not really possible. And so what he does is he has like these phases that help us to kind of center or guide our thoughts or focus on a certain thing in meditation. And so it starts out in which we focus on kind of having this light within ourselves that emanates out towards eventually the whole world. So it's kind of like this concept of loving kindness in a way, how we have a love inside of ourselves that kind of emanates out. Then you think about gratitude. What are you grateful for? Then you think about forgiveness. What do I need to forgive or let go of? Then you think about, what do I want to accomplish in the next 3 years? Like you visualize in a way, where do I want to be 3 years from now? And therefore, what do I need to do today in order to take one step closer to that vision? And then the very last part is kind of just connecting to source. and just imagining and requesting or asking for kind of like a blessing on everything that we have visualized and that we want for our future. So I believe those are the 6 phases.
Beautiful, beautiful. What a delightful and deep and rich practice.
I especially like the end part. I think, it always, for some reason, it just feels so good just to imagine kind of being so connected and just imagine like this energy kind of flowing through our body. It's such a good way to just start your day.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why you're drawn to this practice. It feels so blessed. I get the feeling of blessings.
For sure.
Is there anything challenging for you about meditation? Just on the other side of the spectrum, anything a little hard?
I think one of the things that's hard for me is making time to do it.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, my life is very busy, and I guess so I'm always trying to make space for it.
So that reminds me, I'm remembering that you're a surfer. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So out there in the ocean, on the waves, is there some aspect or quality of meditation that you find as you're surfing?
Yes, I would say that it can be a meditative process or experience when we're surfing. First because we're out in nature, it's beautiful. And, sometimes when I get in the water, my mind is just so full of so many things. Because usually I usually surf in the evening. So it's kind of something that I do at the end of the day. I've been working all day, I've been busy. And then it's kind of this time when I can kind of refresh myself and rejuvenate myself. So I get in the water, my mind is full of so many thoughts. But as I go through like the hour of being out there, one of my goals is always to kind of clear my mind. So I try to become more and more present, I think, to just what I'm doing and just being there and not allowing myself to just be caught up in all the thoughts of what happened that day and, things like that. So I think that that is in a way like a form of meditation because it's allowing me to become more centered. And, by the time I get out of the water, I always feel kind of refreshed and rejuvenated.
Yeah, I get this sense of presence as you speak, presence with oneself and also present in life, in the moment of being. Do you get to see many beautiful sunsets out there in the evening when you're surfing?
I do. And yeah, I'm so grateful for that because it's so beautiful just seeing the sky light up with, these pinks, oranges, purples. That does feel like a blessing every day. Just, if I'm in the water right when the sun is setting, there's this, it only lasts a few minutes when the water itself just starts to take on the color of the sky. And sometimes it's golden, can be pink. But yeah, it's one of my favorite times of the day.
I feel so happy as you describe this. One question that I get asked often is about how meditation might benefit the other people in the meditator's life. So, how meditation might be helpful as a parent or a person with a job, or do you have any thoughts or experiences regarding how meditation helps you in your relationships?
Yeah, I think that this is something that I'm always working on, but I think that ideally, when we allow ourselves these times when we can meditate and kind of bring ourselves into this space of being more calm and kind of letting go of stress and being more centered and focusing on what we're grateful for and all of these things, then for me it helps me to then show up in that same way towards the others that I'm interacting with. So with my family or with those that I'm working with, That's why I like to try to start my day with meditation, because I want to have that intention of starting my day that way. But yeah, I mean, as you pointed out, when I end my day with surfing, it's doing a similar thing. It's putting me into this state in which I can interact with people in a better way.
Lovely. We get to share a meditation journey together today. And is there anything in particular that you would like to meditate on or explore during a meditation moment?
I don't know. Do you have any suggestions for me?
That's a great question. I do remember you mentioning peace and calm. And I remember you mentioning time is something that can be challenging to find the time to do it. So those are three themes we could work with, but perhaps something else is coming present as well, or instead.
Well, one thing that I struggle with, I think, is feeling overwhelmed. I think, with my, working full time, and then with my family, my children, all of my responsibilities at home, as well as my own creative projects and, wanting to surf and, all of the things that I'm trying to incorporate into my life, it's easy for me to start to feel overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to maybe work through that.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah, overwhelm is such an important experience, rich with opportunity, but overwhelming by definition. What do I pay attention to in my state of overwhelm? So, listeners get a sense of where you're coming from. Would you mind saying a little bit about your job and your family, just kind of defining as little or as much as you would like to about what your work life is like and what your family life is like?
Sure. I work in education. So I'm an educational specialist for social emotional learning. And so I work at the state office in public education. And so it's very consuming work. I mean, everybody works very hard, and there's always a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. So I spend a lot of hours working for that. And then my husband is also a teacher. So we both work in education. We have two kids. They are 16 and 11, and they both love soccer. So we're always going to soccer games and soccer practice. Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, I am actually working on starting a podcast, because one of my passions is wellness. So I have a podcast that I'm going to be launching in January of 2023, and it's called Coffee, Surf, Yoga, Wine. And it's about living a lifestyle that really supports our well-being, our total well-being. So, in addition to that, I also am a surfer and I practice yoga. So I have a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah. What a full and rich and beautifully abundant life you describe.
Thank you.
I get a sense of balance from your podcast name, and I know a little bit about your show. And I'm wondering if for you, is it coffee, surf, yoga, wine? Is that the order?
That's correct.
Do you feel balance in those aspects of life as well?
Well, I think that it's a constant practice, and, it's something that I need to work on every single day. So I think that when I incorporate what I call those pillars of coffee, surf, yoga, and wine, then it does help me to feel more balanced and well-being in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love you mentioning wellness and well-being. Thank you for sharing your voice in the world to offer these reminders to everybody, to me and to all of us.
Yeah, well, that really is my goal, to try to help others to increase their wellness and well-being. I mean, it's a journey that I'm on, but I would like nothing more than for my journey to help others on their journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all in it together, aren't we?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we will meditate on overwhelm, meaning we'll use that as a theme to work with in a guided way. And in this moment, is there anything else that feels present for you that you would like to include along with overwhelm?
I think I would like to include the opposite, which is peace.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Okay. And anything else before we have just a moment of silence together? And after the silence, there'll be some guidance and some more silence, and then we'll get to connect a little more at the end. But for right now, is there anything more that you would like to share?
Yeah, I think that it's interesting how, for me anyway, and maybe for others, the things that we're called to are the things that we need the most in our lives, and that's maybe why we're drawn to them. So, for me, doing my podcast, Coffee, Surf, Yoga, Wine, about wellness and trying to find balance and well-being, it's because I need those things, and that's why I'm wanting to meditate on overwhelm because I'm not perfect. I haven't figured it all out. These are the things that I need to cultivate in my life. So that's the reason I think why I'm so interested in it. So thank you for what we're about to experience.
You are so welcome. Thank you for being here and blessing us with your wisdom. I love all that you just shared right now and all that you're sharing. So we will have a moment of silence, which just means that we get to pay attention to ourselves for a timeless bit of time. Sometimes when I get quiet, timelessness becomes present. So it doesn't matter how long or short. It's just a reminder that we're each here together. As we relax into this moment of meditation, I welcome you to rest into your body. Feel how your bones support your physical form. Notice how your skeletal muscles, the large muscles of your body, can fall heavy and feel gravity. Gently hold them and bring them even slightly closer to the earth. Notice how your body is supported in this world. Whatever you are sitting upon, you can sink deeper into it. Allow yourself to feel support. Let all the thoughts of your mind go, if there are any. And if there are thoughts, that is perfectly fine. Just let them go as they come. Allow your face to feel heavy and relaxed. And in your own way, in your own time, gently allow your heart to open. This is your emotional heart, but you might also feel your chest naturally open in broadness, as though you're offering your physical heart to the world. Sometimes overwhelm rests here in the heart. Even though overwhelm can bring along with it many thoughts and ideas and things to do, I find that paying attention to the heart really matters. As the emotions of the heart are felt fully and completely, the overwhelm might lessen. Experiment to see what emotions are in your heart ready to be felt. What is there for you today? There is no judgment on emotions. They simply are, and they love to be felt. They love to move through and be felt. And in that way of feeling emotionally, the emotions move on. In your own way and in your own time. Bring your awareness to your spirit, however you define spirit. Allow yourself to become aware spiritually. All the while, relax your body. Continue to feel the support that holds you here on this earth. Notice the peace present in every breath, the breath that breathes life through you. Notice any peace present for you. I invite you to check in any way you like to check in with yourself and see what overwhelm is present right now, if any at all. If there is no overwhelm present, simply enjoy this moment. Enjoy whatever is here for you. If there is overwhelm present, notice it, accept it. And I welcome you to open your heart and just see, are there any emotions longing to be felt? Tears are okay. All feelings are okay. Your heart is precious to you. It has worlds of wisdom to share. Whenever there is overwhelm present, try attending to your heart and see what peace opens up when you allow yourself to feel freely. With a few deep breaths, notice anything you would like to notice. Whenever you feel ready, I welcome you to very gently open your eyes and softly bring in the shapes and colors of anything you see. Thank you so much for going on that journey with me, Carey.
Thank you for guiding me through that journey.
You're very welcome. I feel grateful to see, of course, those listening don't get to see the image that I see right now, but the image of you meditating and just, I got the sense of a sunbeam shining down on you as you were sitting.
Well, thank you. I felt very calm and relaxed while I was meditating.
Mm.
Yeah, when you asked me what feeling did I want to feel or something like that, or what emotion, I just felt like I wanted to feel happiness. So maybe that was the sunbeam that you saw.
Maybe so. Oh, I love happiness. How did it land for you to consider overwhelm in terms of the heart and feelings of the heart?
I think that to me, it's like a reminder that in those moments when I feel overwhelmed, that I need to kind of take a step back and check in with myself and kind of just get curious about why I'm feeling this way, or why am I putting myself into this mental construct that's causing me to feel overwhelmed, because I'm really creating it for myself. So I think that if we, that idea of checking in with our heart is kind of like checking in with ourselves and why we might be feeling the way that we are.
Yeah, well put. I like the connection between checking in with one's heart as being a way of checking in with oneself and really finding out what's going on. I find in my personal practice and in my professional practice with clients, there are often times when a person, and it may or may not fit for you, Carey, but there are often times when a person is feeling overwhelmed and really wanting to fix things, either mentally or by checking off items on a to-do list or going about a task that will hopefully help the person not feel overwhelmed anymore. And in that, what interests me is that at least sometimes there are matters of the heart. There are deep emotions that really want to be felt that are causing the experience of overwhelm rather than the need to fix something externally or check something off. There's actually a more subtle realm that's waiting to be attended to. And sometimes that's the emotional realm. And when I sit with people or with myself and allow those emotions to get the attention they need, the overwhelm can dissipate. And there still might be clarity around, yes, I have a to-do list, or yes, I have a task, but it can be without the overwhelm and more with a sense of purpose and mattering.
Yeah, I think that's something that I can keep in mind in the future when I start to feel that way, checking in with my emotions and, is it something emotional that's causing me to feel overwhelmed? I get, for me, I just always feel like I just don't have enough time um, to do all the things that I want to do, or, to get things done in a timely manner. So yeah, that's my struggle, is not having enough time. I always feel like that.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's an emotional thing or what,
Sure.
what it is. But I think that, I think it's important to try to remember, I guess, to be kinder to myself, and to give myself more time if I need it. I mean, I don't, I guess, I think sometimes my expectations of myself are, I don't know, maybe it's not even attainable. I don't know.
Oh, well, I hear you about time and expectations. I definitely have some of that relationship with time that you describe. And I so enjoy timelessness, that the clock is my friend because it helps me keep track of time in the world. But I love the experience of timelessness. It really is my preferred way of being.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I appreciate that concept of timelessness. And yeah, it's interesting how in our human experience we are so governed by time, when it's something that we have created ourselves, so it can be hard to separate ourselves from that and to remember that we are timeless. But I think that when we give ourselves that gift of meditating or even closing our eyes and just focusing on our breath, then somehow it helps, to kind of let go of some of that clinging to time.
Beautifully said. Such an excellent point. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us, Carey. And in closing, if you consider our conversation as well as your entire life, is there a moment of healing that stands out for you?
Wow, that is a big question, Rain.
Isn't it? I know.
A moment of healing.
Yeah, that feels meaningful to you right now.
I don't know. That's a hard question for me. Sometimes I have a hard time of just thinking of one moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can help me again by giving me some examples.
Absolutely. Oh, so as I check in with myself, I felt a healing moment when I heard you speak about time because I was just speaking with my parent coach. I meet with a parent coach often, and she kind of keeps me on track being a good parent. And we get to talk about all sorts of things. And so I was bringing to her the topic of time. And we were talking a bit about that. And so to feel that reflection in you that, yes, there is this relationship with time that we all have. And some of us struggle with it and some of us don't. And there's lots of in betweens and unique experiences, but just that you, Carey, are another person in the world who has a relationship with time worth mentioning. I feel the kind of healing like, I'm not alone. Here we are with time. It's safe to talk about and mention. Yes, we have a relationship with time.
Okay, so you're looking for something that was a moment when I felt healed then. Is that what you're saying?
Would be, yeah. It could be a desire for healing. It could be a moment that you felt healed. Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
You have all the time in the world.
That's true. Thank you for that reminder. Well, I guess, I mean, this is going back to something that we talked about earlier, but a lot of times I feel healed when I am in the ocean, and when especially on, one of those days when the conditions are just really beautiful and the water is just glassy. And if there's like that beautiful sunset or even like a rainbow, like even if it's, sunny and rainy and there's a rainbow right there, I guess just, just being in that moment of being surrounded by the sky and the water, I feel healed in those moments.
Mm-hmm. I feel that healing. Thank you for painting that clear picture. In our last couple of minutes, I can share that one motivation I have in asking about healing is that this podcast, Every Moment is Sacred, is an exploration of interweaving meditation and healing into everyday life. And it's my experience and belief that meditation and healing are always available to us. And sometimes, like gratitude, it just takes looking for them. It just takes that moment of being willing to consider, what if there is healing, or what healing is important to me? And people's answers are so different and so real in terms of being unique to them that it interests me. What is healing in your life? And I love your answer and your inquiry as you're answering. So thank you for having that exploration and experiment with me.
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. I think that it's an interesting lens and maybe a different lens to view life through that lens of healing, and to notice that, like you said, that we have that opportunity available to us at any time. In my work, in social emotional learning, one of the other things that we've been doing a lot of learning around is trauma. Mm-hmm. And, how to be a trauma informed practitioner in education. And I think that's the other side of the coin, though, is the healing and the resilience. Mm-hmm. So I think that just as all of us have experienced trauma, we also can all experience healing. And if we're looking for it, maybe we'll see it more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perhaps. And I think you're right, personally. Personally and professionally, I agree with you. And we all get to make our own decision.
That's right.
Oh, Thank you so much for sharing with me and all of the listeners. Thank you so much for being here, Carey.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a beautiful experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. It has been a great joy to have your presence here in this podcast. I welcome you to celebrate the joy and wisdom in your life exactly as it is. And I welcome you to feel loved, fully loved, exactly as you are. www.rainelizabeth.org